Like Steve Jobs used to say that don't explain your features, tell the benefits.
Welcome to the Sun Mall podcast, where we interview the stars of e-commerce. Today we have Krishan Kumar of Million Cases, a business he founded and built to be one of the premier phone accessory companies. Today he walks us through the journey and provides valuable insights ranging from advertising to merchandising.
How did you get in the world of e-commerce? What was the inspiration? What kind of got you into the industry?
It was like year 2016, and before that we were doing blogging. We used to make blogs, write content, and make money through Google AdSense. But in Feb 2016, Google updated its core algorithm, and all of our blogs got penalized by Google. And at the time when we were making like $8,000, $10,000 per month in profit, we were barely making even $500 per month after that. So it became really tough for us to even survive. Then we tried to take it forward 2 or 3 months, but somehow it didn't work. Then we started looking for opportunities, what we can do else, because till that time we had finished our college and we have not taken any job. So we were really afraid that what job we can do now. Okay. So we just started asking friends on Facebook and in the community who were doing blogging like us. Then we just accidentally got to know about e-commerce. A friend of one of our friend was selling smartphone cases on eBay at that time. So he told me my friend is selling phone cases on eBay, so we can also try. Then we started looking for how we can do it and what can be done. Then I got to know about a Facebook group called Ecom Empire by Nick Pironi. That group helped us a lot in terms to learn e-commerce. Then the journey got started for e-commerce. It was June 2016.
That's awesome. And you guys definitely have come a long way there. Just to like double click on that. So you mentioned you came from the blogging world and you guys Google changed the algorithm. So the SEO kind of got changed. How do you think those lessons helped you with your e-commerce business, right? Because a lot of it is marketing and kind of what are some of the lessons learned from your blogging? And then also now these days, what are the major channels? Like how do you guys get traffic to your site?
Yeah. So because we have did blogging for more than 4 years, so we had a lot of idea about how internet works, how SEO works, how traffic comes to your site, and how you get sales. So when we got started with e-commerce, we knew that we have to go with the Google Ads because even at the time of blogging, when we were using Google AdSense, it was the second phase of Google Ads. At that time, we were publishers. Now it was the time for us to become the advertiser. So we had the idea, we launched a few of our ads on Google, but somehow it didn't work very well for us because we had no experience in running paid ads. But yes, we have the idea, so it became easy as compared to anyone else who may have been started from scratch. And if we speak about now, then we get most of our traffic from Facebook and Instagram. Like 70% of traffic comes from Facebook and Instagram. And rest 30% comes from Google. We also use Google paid ads as well. Then some traffic comes from SEO as well. We do like pretty decent SEO for our stores.
That totally makes sense. So maybe you guys were not running ads for your blogs, but you were monetizing ads with the blogs and you were in that ecosystem. So you had familiarity,
Yes,
like you can do on
yes.
Facebook, Instagram. I saw recently on LinkedIn, you posted the importance of creative. So maybe you can just comment on how you guys think about creative and how you guys write, because it's not just running Facebook ads, right? You have to run the right content on Facebook.
When we got started with Facebook ads, it was 6 or 7 years back. It was very easy at that time. Like you have to launch any ad and you will start getting traffic. But now it has changed. Everything has been changed. So what we saw, your most important thing in an ad, especially in Facebook ads, is the creative. So we hired a graphic designer for the project to create some new creative inspired from AliExpress because creatives from AliExpress used to work very well. That person started giving us creatives and that it somehow, sometime it was didn't. Then we realized that yes, what creative we are getting from AliExpress was tested by a whole process, but we were getting raw thing from our team, so it was not working that well. Then we started up, built a complete multimedia team in house. So currently there are 10, 11 people are working our multimedia team, and they are continuously making new creatives for our product. They shoot the videos in house. They make a new banner shoots, and they make like after working for this thing since years, so they have got a very clear idea what kind of thing works. So they work accordingly and they provide to the marketing team test that thing. Then they tell that this thing is working or this thing is not working. Then they make changes. And this process is a continuous ongoing, and we get new creatives and new successes.
Sure. What you're saying is it's really important to have the right team in house, and the tactics will change as the industry and Facebook or Instagram kind of change. And it's really important to test and iterate. Are there any kind of new channels you're hoping to see in the future, or you think Facebook and Instagram are going to continue to be the primary channels for you?
So primary channel, I think for a few years in coming are going to be Facebook and Instagram only. But yes, we are testing new things as well. We have started with the Snapchat ads recently, and also YouTube ads were not that big thing previously, but now we are giving a huge emphasis on it, and YouTube ads has also started working for us.
So one thing I noticed is you guys have Million Cases, and then I think you guys also have this other brand, Peeperly. So you guys have two different kind of
Yes.
websites. So how did you think about having two different brands?
Yeah. So when we started Million Cases, we started running ads, and a huge traffic started coming on our website. Then we very often we got requests from especially girls audience that don't you have any girlish cases? So our team used to give us regular feedback that customers are asking for girlish cases, the cases with sparkles and all those things. Then we just got some new products and listed on Million Cases. But then we just suggested that why don't we make a dedicated storefront that is totally devoted to women's only, because women audience has a totally different skill mindset and they have totally different kind of choice. So they don't want to like go in a shop that where they can accidentally find a product for themselves.
Right? Instead of just dividing the collection pages, you can make the whole brand around females, right? No one wants to just be a sub collection of a brand. So the next question is, I know your business started off Bootstrap. Any recommendations for Bootstrap businesses?
It is very important for any business to start at least with Bootstrap, because if you go with any external funding, anytime any problem comes for the investor and he just choose to not invest anymore, then business is like in a misery state. How can it go? How it can pay at least salaries to the employees and rent and all those things. So I emphasize at least getting started with the Bootstrap. Then you can go to external funding at any time in the business. I think it is really important because you learn a lot of stuff which you cannot learn otherwise.
I think, do you feel like you had an advantage, like in these, since 2022, the VC funding has dried up? A lot of people who maybe are more used to VC funding might have had a harder time. As a bootstrap business, you've gotten, you
Yes,
have
yes.
the raw DNA there.
Yeah, because we are a bootstrap company, we never like felt any pressure on ourselves. If at any times we feel okay, business is slowing down a bit, then we can easily stop at the new hirings. We can stop many external things which we are doing like influencer marketing. We can cut down on our budgets a bit, so we can maintain our office and everything, business in a good shape. But if you are going with any investor, doesn't matter what is going around in the world, the investors who have invested in their business just need revenue growth. But at sometimes just market doesn't allow that thing. It has some cons as well, because you can grow at a very faster speed when you have access to the external funds.
It's hard to because you have the extra capital to invest in growth before you realize the profit. So how do you guys think about reinvesting the profits and growth?
We reinvest our money mostly in our business as well, and we are also investing in some other businesses, e-commerce businesses who are making like $15,000 of sales per month, and then we approach them. We can give you external funding, our tech, the knowledge we have accumulated in the 10 or 11 years of journey in internet world and 7 years of e-commerce experience. Then we just collaborate with them. We take their company in our portfolio and we work with them closely, and we make that company profitable, and we help them scale at a very faster speed, which they would have not done otherwise.
So you reinvested in your own brands, but also in partnering or investing in some other brands here. When you're investing in these other brands, what do you look for?
We don't look at many aspects. We just look at, is this business something that can go for a longer period of time? Are the founders serious about the business? Like most of the people whom I know doing e-commerce are not like in for long term. They are just doing this thing to make sales and make money out of every order. They just don't even think about long term, like how we can go 3 years, what we can achieve and become in 5 years or 10 years period of time. So when we see some businesses who have potential, and when we talk and we realize that, okay, so a person in front of us is thinking long term, he have a idea that what he is trying to build and he needs some help, and then we just talk and get into that business.
So really focusing on the team and that they're determined to build a long-term business rather than rack up sales in 1 year. And one of the things you mentioned here was you guys can help with the tech for these smaller brands. Maybe you can talk about what kind of tech you guys use, how you guys think about it. What do you build in-house? Which apps you install?
In India, most of the orders which people get on their website are cash on delivery orders. People place order on your website and they don't pay upfront. They pay at the time of delivery. And 35% of people don't take their orders at the time of delivery. So people who are doing e-commerce business and running Facebook ads to get an order, they don't even know the right calculation to calculate the profitability, or even if they are making money. So suppose if someone is getting something is for product for $4 and selling for $20 and spending ads in spending like $4 or $5 in Facebook or Google ads, then they just calculate very simply, out of 20, I have reduced $4 for product and $5 for ads and a few dollars for logistics and everything. But actual calculation works very otherwise. So we have built an Indian e-commerce profit calculator that have all the aspects which play a critical role in Indian e-commerce, and we use that calculator to know the exact profitability. If you are making even $2.05 on something, then you will get to know you are making $2.05. You will not like in a guess, you are not doing any guesswork, like you are making maybe $2 or maybe $5, or maybe you are not making anything. Most people they just are doing making sales, getting revenue, then reinvesting them in getting new products, running news or Facebook ads, and this circle is just keep on going. They barely make any money. At paper, when do calculation, they see that they are making money, but their bank tells otherwise. Their bank don't have any money, and they just cannot figure it out what is happening. If I am running ads, I am getting good CPM, then why I am not getting profit in my bank? Everything is right, but why I am not getting profit in the bank? So calculation is the thing.
Sure.
So we have built a Indian e-commerce profit calculator for our in-house team currently. We are planning to launch it for everybody, but maybe it will take some time because we don't want our secrets to go outside. So we will have to take care of everything, which we should not go to the people who can maybe misuse that thing.
Sure, that totally makes sense. And I think that's a really good point about how every business needs to know what's profitable and actually profitable. And then I think key point is the cash on delivery. If people are not there, then you might have to reship it, or then maybe they'll never buy it or whatever. So the actually calculating these things are much more complicated than other markets such as the US. You buy it when you buy it, add to cart and check out. Are there any other big differences between the Indian and the US market?
India have a lot of people, but most people do not have a lot of disposable income. India have more than 1.4 billion people. US have less than 350 million people. So in terms of size of population, India is 5 times bigger than US. But when we look at the GDP, India is only $3 trillion and US is 21 or 20 trillion plus dollar economy. So here there are many people who want to buy things, but they don't have much to dispose, because average income in India is very at lower side. But
you might have more people there, but they can't buy as many different things. So really focusing on how they can make the purchase. Speaking of, how do you drive that purchase? One key thing is making sure your website looks good and is organized and you have the right copy. A couple kind of key questions on the website itself is, how did you guys think about organizing the products? Because I saw you guys have many different types of phone cases for many different types of phones.
We take references from top of the websites in our niche. This is the first thing like we look after. Whenever you are getting into something which you don't know much about, you just look at the top players, what they are doing. So we analyze the top players in our game, and we take a reference from them. Then we do it in our own way. Then when we run ads, we look at the backend side. Like there are many tools available in the market. There one is Microsoft Clarity, which lets you see what people are doing on your website when they are coming to your website, what they are actually doing. Then we analyze what they are doing, where they are stopping, what they are checking out, where they are getting any issue. So according to that, we analyze those things very closely, and we take appropriate actions to make things faster and give them whatever they are looking for at above the fold kind of thing. So we analyze and we take references. This is the answer in short.
Sure. So it's a combo as you get inspiration from other sites, maybe to
Yes,
learn.
it is very important to take references.
Yeah, inspiration for them too, but also analyzing these heat maps or analytics and that kind of stuff. Do you guys do a lot of A/B testing too?
Yes, we do A/B testing, but not a lot of, because our niche is something we have to introduce new stuff very often. We just take the real ads upfront, and then we see if it is working or not. Then at most of the time it works very well. So we don't need much of A/B testing. But yes, I emphasize a lot on A/B testing. If someone is selling a very higher, priced product, then yes, they have to do that thing. But we don't do that much.
Sure. I think your point here is that because you guys change over inventory or your catalog a lot, it's really hard to do A/B testing, right? Because there will be a new thing the next week. That totally makes sense. The next question is on your product pages. I saw you guys have a lot of these unique descriptions, right? I think you guys really emphasize like the delivery time and stuff like that, or the number of reviews. And then you guys also have these badges below saying premium quality. So how do you guys think about there's many things you can talk about in the product. So like how do you think about which products to use or which kind of features to highlight? And B, how do you guys think of the use of these badges and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we look at the trends. Like if we were selling something in the past and now we have got a new product which is almost similar to the previous product, then we see what thing worked for that product. Like what was the description of that product that was doing very well, and we take a reference out of it, make new descriptions and things, because obviously you have multiple tens of 20s of points for a product that you can mention in a description, but you have to make it short and to the point. So we just take the biggest benefit for the product and represent in front of people. So this way we keep it short and to the point.
Okay, I got you. Highlighting the key points. Maybe not point 90 to 100, but the top 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, like Steve Jobs used to say that don't explain your features, tell the benefits.
Sure.
So we follow that.
I got you. That totally makes sense. The benefits there. That totally makes sense. Next question is Chat GPT and AI is very hot these days. Do you guys use any kind of these tooling, any kind of these AI tools? Has that impacted your business yet?
Yes, definitely. First of all, our tech team use ChatGPT a lot for their development purpose, and we have seen a drastic increase in speed of their execution and working. So ChatGPT is almost gives it all. You just need to know what to ask to it, and it can literally do wonders. So we are learning how we can use that thing. But yes, currently our tech team is using ChatGPT in their tech thing. Then our marketing team is using ChatGPT in order to create a good descriptions and headlines and comparison between two headlines. They just make use of ChatGPT. Like I want to silicon case. So what I can show in my ads. In this way, we are taking use of. Then our product and listing team, cataloging team, they make use of ChatGPT in making good descriptions. Like we know what to say, but we don't know how to say it very well. So ChatGPT is helping us in that thing.
Sure. So with ChatGPT, it's pretty good and it's really useful. But I think one thing is ChatGPT, you say, hey, highlight these features, and it'll give you 10 descriptions or something. You can get a lot of different ways of saying the same information. So how do you guys decide between those various options, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so because the team is working on these things for years now, they have an idea that what is looking more good. Simply, they just act on their gut feeling that yes, this can work better. Then
Sure.
they try this thing. Then if they think that okay, maybe this can work as well, then they do A/B testing as well. It's not
Okay.
like we don't do any A/B testing, but we at when it is really necessary or and needed.
Sure. So I think what you're saying is if they have a pretty good intuition, hey, this one we know maybe just we haven't done official A/B testing, but we've done it so many years. We know this one will do better. But if they're not clear, then they'll do A/B testing and stuff like that.
Yes, definitely.
And do you guys use any tool? How do you guys A/B test? Are there tools you guys use, or you just set one for 1 week or another week? What do you guys do?
We generally test with there is a thing called CBO in Facebook ads, campaign budget optimization. In that CBO, we make multiple ads for same thing, and we test different taglines and headlines and description in different ads. Then we see which ads and which ad sets are working better, and then we go with that. We use just basic methods of A/B testing.
Okay. And do you guys do any A/B testing on the site itself?
Yes, definitely. So sometimes we make two landing pages for same product,
Okay.
and then we run ads for that. Then we see which landing page is working well. And but again, this we do well only when we think it is necessary and it is needed to be done. Normally, we don't need to do this very often.
Sure. And is the reason you guys don't do it as much, is it because you think maybe it'll give like a 1% conversion boost? The advantages don't make up for all the extra work in setting up the A/B, the different landing pages and stuff like that. Is that kind of the main reason?
We whenever we do it, we always find it very worthy to
Sure.
do this thing.
Okay, that totally makes sense. And are there any kind of applications of AI or whatever that maybe you're not using right now, but you're excited for in the future, or you're hoping someone brings into the Shopify or e-commerce ecosystem?
Yeah, so we are like looking at many reels and YouTube shorts that many tools are showing that you just have to give information, text commands to a system, and it will give you like a graphic design with that, something like that. We are looking very positively forward to those things, so those can help us in a very positive manner because our productivity will increase and we will be able to do things even at very faster speed because currently our team gets stuck because multimedia team has to shoot photos for all the products, then they have to edit those things, then make videos, reels, shorts, then we get ready to test the thing. If any AI tool helps us in doing these things, then obviously we will be able to do things at the very fastest scale.
Sure, that totally makes sense. So right now, ChatGPT is good from text to text, but it can't create these richer content like images and video and stuff like that. That totally makes sense. Cool. Just speaking on tools, just for any other things out there, are there any kind of tools, apps, or whatever you guys have found very helpful other than ChatGPT in running your business?
Yeah, we are using multiple tools for different purposes, but mostly we are getting things developed in house to do the critical things. Like we have built our in-house CRM system, which tells us exactly what product is giving you profit, what is giving not, and what exactly profit you are getting. And let's say you are selling something in 4 different colors. So normally people just look at the product and calculate profitability on the product. But then we saw that a product has 4 colors and one color was getting 80% delivery and one color of the variant was getting only 45 or 50% delivery. Then we just cut it down the 50% delivery and lower delivery percent colors, and we just focused on the best performing color. And just by implement this little thing, our profitability increased 50-70% for even a single product. So we implement this kind of things internally, but we have built our own system for this. Normally, we don't use many of the tools available out
Sure, that makes sense. You guys have a really good tool that really lets you dig deep into the profitability and the
there.
analytics and things that might not be intuitive, right? Just removing one color or focusing on one other color makes a huge 70% difference. That
Exactly.
totally makes sense. And then last couple questions here. You've been doing this since 2016, right? So, there was the pandemic, right? 2022 or 2020. I think in India it lasted a bit longer. So maybe how has been the business been now compared to pre-pandemic? Are there any kind of key differences you guys have seen?
So we have seen, like we have experienced business is in better shape as if compared to the pre-pandemic period, because now many people who were not shopping online, who were not even present online, they are shopping on online websites and they are getting used to it. So our market size is getting increasing. Also, as we are dealing in premium segment and flagship devices only, so these kind of audiences are growing very faster speed. It was never seen before, but now Apple is focusing on India at a very serious note. It's because they know that India is the very big market and they have a huge potential. We have literally seen that we are making good profit, good orders, and businesses in very better shape as compared to if we compare it to the pre-COVID period.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, I think Apple, they just announced the new store, right? A couple new stores, or
Yes,
the
they
first
have
stores
opened two stores in India just recently.
Delhi and Mumbai, I think. And I think they even
Yes.
announced, I think $6 billion in sales or something in India.
Yeah.
So it's a
So they
really,
have did $5 billion of exports from India. It has happened first time Apple built things in India and they have exported it from.
sure. Yeah. So it's not just targeting the Indian market to sell, but also for manufacturing too.
Yes.
That totally makes sense. And then just wrap up questions. What are the top of mind kind of problems with your business? Things you're really focused in the next 6 months. What are you really focused on?
The biggest problem of our business is we have so many SKUs to take care of, because we are dealing in many brands. Then there are many models under those brands. Then in each brand there are many kinds of products we are selling. Then in each product there are multiple colors in there. So we have to take care of a lot of SKUs, and most of the times our team face issue that the best selling product gets out of stock very soon, and sometimes the product which we have bought doesn't even sell. So we face a problem that we call, like, either we go stock out or either we go overstock. So we are working on our technology to building technology that can help us get rid of both of these situations. So we don't want to get stock out, because the products which are selling very good and making good profits, we don't want to go stock out with them. We always want them in the stock because we can make a really good amount of money from them. And at the same period of time, we want that we don't get overstock for the things that are not selling very well and making us any money. So we are making tech for these things, and in coming 5 or 6 months we will solve this problem up like 80-90% of them, and then our business will just skyrocket. We are very positive for this thing, and our J curve is yet to come. So we will experience that thing in 5 or 6 months.
Sure, that totally makes sense. It's a tough problem, right? You have to predict demand prediction,
Yes.
and I get it, right? You don't want to you want the customers to have the product, so you want to buy enough, but you don't want to buy too much. That totally makes sense. And then I think the other problem you mentioned was managing all this inventory, many different types of products here. How do you guys do that? Do you guys have your own warehouse, or like or you guys get the suppliers to ship, or how do you guys manage all those logistics?
Yeah, so we import all of our products from China only, because in India there are many companies who have started getting into manufacturing, but currently the quality is not up to mark. So we import all the products from China. Then we get those products to deliver to our warehouse. We have a big size warehouse in our city only. Like, it is 9,000 square foot, and we have a team of 20 people, 22 people in the warehouse that manages all the pick, pack, and ship thing for everything in the operations. So we
That
have our own in-house team and warehouse.
Okay, that totally makes sense. And then what is what does the business look like in 5 years? What is your long-term vision?
Yeah, so in 5 years, this business is going to explode. We are very positive about the business, and because we are seeing like people are getting more aware, people are getting making more money. This has never happened in the history that people are making this kind of money. It is literally insane because now we see so many luxury cars on the road that we have never even imagined that this can we will see. We are very positive for the business, and we are literally we have decided for 1 lakh orders per month target. We have set a target 1 lakh order per month before this year end. So
Wow.
currently we are focusing on this target only. Then obviously in 5 years we want to go really big, like we want to set up our own manufacturing plants, and we want to go international, and we just want to become the first option for the category which we are operating in. Like whenever someone who needs electric car, so first thing comes in their mind is Tesla, I think. Most we think
Yeah.
about for Tesla. So we want to make an that kind of impact that whenever a premium phone owner, like you are having iPhone 14 or 13 or anything, then anytime you need a good phone cover for that, you are charging, wireless charging or charger or anything, then at that time we want to people think about us. So we are working towards that goal.
That totally makes sense. You want to be the category leader. Um,
Yes, simple.
That totally makes quite sense. So those were the questions I had. I think a lot of these lessons were really useful. Like I personally learned many things like the cash on delivery type stuff. A, just about the Indian market, but two, really understanding the market.